An extortion complaint by former Speaker Martin Romualdez triggers the arrest of Peanut Gallery Media Network founder Franco Mabanta. The San Jose del Monte local government takes over the city's water district after continued poor service from PrimeWater. Political scions Leandro Leviste and Ryan Recto clash at the House of Representatives after Leviste alleges Recto's parents are corrupt. US President Donald Trump will briefly pause the operation to help escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. And nearly half of young people in Europe turn to AI chatbots for emotional support. An extortion complaint by former Speaker Martin Romualdez triggers the arrest of Peanut Gallery Media Network founder Franco Mabanta. The National Bureau of Investigation arrested Mabanta and 4 others in an entrapment operation Tuesday, May 5. Mabanta allegedly demanded that Romualdez hand over 300 million pesos in exchange for withholding content linking the lawmaker to corruption in the House of Representatives. This supposedly prompted Romualdez to file a complaint with the NBI. Mabanta was a social media strategist of the Marcoses in 2018. But Palace Press Officer Claire Castro clarifies Mabanta is no friend of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Castro instead presents photos of Mabanta with the Dutertes, questioning their relationship. Mabanta and the 4 other suspects are currently under the custody of the NBI. The San Jose del Monte local government takes over the city's water district after continued poor service from PrimeWater. Mayor Florida Robes leads the takeover, which gives the LGU authority over PrimeWater's facilities and assets in accordance with the March 13 city ordinance. The ordinance also reports at least 62 barangays and 25% of total households in the city experienced varying degrees of serious water service interruptions. A wRap report in April 2025 showed how the city's residents have been suffering from PrimeWater's bad service for nearly a decade. The water service crisis also pushed the city government to declare a state of calamity in March 2026. The takeover allows the LGU to manage the city's water supply as well as appoint an interim water utility operator. The takeover will last 1 year in line with the limits of the LGU's emergency powers. No representatives from PrimeWater attended the May 5 press conference, but they were present at the city's water district building. City officials served the takeover notice to officers during a meeting right before the conference. The company responded, received with objections. Political scions Leandro Leviste and Ryan Recto clash at the House of Representatives after Leviste alleges Recto's parents are corrupt. Leviste, the 1st District Representative of Batangas, claims CWS representative and suspected political contractor Edwin Guardiola funded the campaign of Recto's mother and Batangas Governor Vilma Santos Recto in the 2025 elections. He insinuates this was for political favors.
Kung baliw man ako, at least hindi ako magnanakaw. Tila affected si Recto sa mga post ko tungkol sa kanya at si Congressman Edwin Guardiola. Kung lehitimo man ito, mabuti at maging transparent si Secretary Recto sa kanyang yaman. At kung ang ginagastos ni Cong Guardiola para sa kampanya nila ay may kaugnayan sa pagiging contractor ni Guardiola sa Batangas.
Leviste also says he was invited to join a scheme where Recto's father, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto, would use his cabinet post to profit from public works projects. Ryan Recto, the Batangas 6th District Representative, refutes Leviste's allegations against his father.
On the alleged ties between Congressman Edwin Guardiola and Executive Secretary Ralph Recto, their association is purely professional, as Congressman Guardiola is also a member of the House of Representatives and a fellow Batangueño. There are no personal interests involved, but only a shared commitment to fulfill their duties to their constituents.
The House later approves a motion to strike Leviste's speech from the record. Meantime, Secretary Recto flips the script and claims it was Leviste who allegedly tried to bribe him with 400 million pesos and then 1 billion pesos for political favors in the 2025 elections. Secretary Recto also calls Leviste a bitter brat who is prone to tantrums. US President Donald Trump will briefly pause the operation to help escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz, citing great progress toward a comprehensive agreement with Iran. He says we have mutually agreed that while the blockade will remain in full force and effect, Project Freedom will be paused for a short period of time to see whether or not the agreement can be finalized and signed. There was no immediate response from Tehran. The White House did not comment on how long the pause would last. After Trump's post, U.S. crude oil futures fell $2.30 and broke below $100 per barrel. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio earlier said Iran could not be allowed to control traffic through the strait. Iran has effectively sealed off the strait by threatening to deploy mines, drones, missiles, and fast attack craft. The U.S. has countered by blockading Iranian ports and mounting escorted transits for commercial vessels. Nearly 1 in 2 young people in Europe turn to AI chatbots for emotional support. Of the 3,800 people surveyed by Ipsos BVA, 51% says it was easy to discuss personal issues with a chatbot. Around 90% of those surveyed had used AI tools before, citing their constant availability and, quote, non-judgmental nature. More than 3 in 5 users describe AI as a life advisor or a confidant. Only 49% say they feel comfortable sharing issues with healthcare professionals and 37% with psychologists. Even then, a majority or 68% say it was easy to share issues with friends and 61% with parents. The survey was carried out among people aged 11 to 25 across France, Germany, Sweden, and Ireland in early 2026. The survey also finds about 28% of respondents meet the threshold for suspected generalized anxiety disorder. And that's today's wrap. I'm JC Gotinga. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. For more updates, download the wRap.